Well, hello there. Greetings, my friends, and welcome. Hope you're having a fabulous day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Hope you're finding yourself safe, healthy, and happy and thriving. Just enjoying life, living your best life. Vibrant Living, as the name of the show is. This is the New Thought Media Network. I'm Ken Ludwig. And as I said, the show is Vibrant Living. And once again, just hope it's a great day. Hope every aspect of your being is just enjoying yourself, having a good time, whatever it is, work, play, relationships, whatever it is. I hope you're just learning to enjoy. It's it's my personal work these days is to learn to enjoy, to learn to just be in life, to learn to just be and to stop doing and striving and working hard for this, that, and the other thing, and just kind of relax into life. Allow the divine circuits to take care of everything and anything that I need to be taken care of, because I know, as Emerson said, we need to get our bloated nothingness out of the way of the divine circuits. And I find myself firmly planting my bloated nothingness right in the way of those divine circuits. So I'm working on that, and I'm working on. I'm doing it in ways that I know, which one of the first and foremost of which is deepening my meditation. One of the things that is really a unique facet of living in a very, very rural environment since we moved to Moxville. I keep making fun of the name and I call it different things. And I almost say it wrong every time. It's Moxville, North Carolina. And we have farmland across the street from us. I mean, it's a beautiful, quiet. We have woods in the back. Today, we just spotted our first two feral kittens that would appear to be either nesting in our garden or under our breezeway deck. Oh, well, I guess we got used to feral kittens when we were living with my sister-in-law in Raleigh, but we try not to get too attached to these guys as we worked to the last batch. But anyway, it's very rural. It's very quiet. And I have taken my meditation to a place that it hasn't been in many, many years. I mean, because of where we had lived previously, even in Colorado, I had started to have to listen to music in order to meditative music in order to meditate, because the background noise was too much. I've never been very good at blocking out the background noise. Barking dogs, traffic, those things just have always gotten to me. This past week, I just unplugged. I pulled the earbuds out and I have been meditating on our front porch and enjoying the quiet and the peacefulness. There's a little bit of traffic noise from a highway that's a ways away, and there's always dogs barking somewhere, but it's just a different noise than the city, which has allowed me to kind of just lessen the distraction that would be the music, if you will, because even when you're listening to good meditative music, sometimes your focus winds up with the music as opposed to your meditation. So it's really helped me there. I'm also working on the idea of, what is my intuitive self? What is the still small voice say? You know, and you've heard me talk about this on the show before. Many moons ago, I went into meditation looking for another word to use other than God, because so many people have issues with the word God. So many people from the Judeo-Christian traditions have guilt or angst around the word God. And I went into meditation, and in a matter of seconds, I got GOD, guidance on demand. I have been focusing a little bit more attention on that guidance on demand and going into my meditation with an idea of, tell me, what do I need to do about this? Or what do I need to do about that? Or what's my next steps here or there? And listening for that still small voice. You know, we obviously I think we all understand, at least if you're paying attention to the New Thought Media Network, I think we all understand that praying is talking to God. Meditation is listening for the answers. So I've been kind of going at it from that perspective. And I was talking a little bit about my purpose, or what am I doing here? What am I striving for? What am I working so hard at to accomplish? And am I accomplishing anything, or am I spinning my wheels? And my wife, my beloved Lisa, she pulled out something that I really have never paid a whole lot of attention to, and it's called the runes. And the runes is a bag full of little stones, and these little stones are these are all very uniform, and in history they weren't, but you can see they all have little etchings on them. There's little designs, and actually each one has a I guess just a standard and a reversed position. So you've got all these different little things here that come in the runes bag, and it's very cool. It's and I don't know what that is that just came up on my screen, but I'll just ignore it for now. Anyway, so there's a whole bag of these. I don't know how many are in there. There's certainly more than 20 or 20 maybe. In fact, I think the book will actually tell me how many there are. There are 25 runes in there. So there you have that. So there's a book that my beloved Lisa gave to me, the Book of Runes, that tells you all about the runes in the beginning. I've not read it, although to be honest with you, I'm going to, because I think it's important. But then it tells you what each of the runes means, and I want to read you a little bit of this so you get an idea. This is ancient. This goes back before the time of pretty much everything. So here's just a brief. This is from the preface of the book, and this is a brief. I think this gives you an idea of what it is. The runes, as described here, are healing, merciful runes. They will do you no harm. Learn their language and let them speak to you. Play with the possibility that they can provide a mirror for the magic of our knowing selves, and selves is with a capital S, the higher self. Our knowing selves, a means of communication with the knowledge of our subconscious minds. Remember that you are consulting an oracle rather than having your fortune told. An oracle does not give you instruction as to what to do next, nor does it predict future events. An oracle points your attention towards those hidden fears and motivations that will shape your future by their unfelt presence within each present moment. Once seen and recognized, these elements become absorbed into the realm of choice. Oracles do not absolve you of the responsibility for selecting your future, but rather direct your attention towards those inner choices that may be the most important elements in determining that future. So that's just a brief explanation there, if you will. They go back well into long before the time of Christ, well before any other records that we have, pretty much, except for maybe really ancient stuff. But the last, I just read a brief thing in the middle of it. The last known usage of the runes was during the Middle Ages in Iceland. So Lisa gave this to me, and I picked the rune that is called, I don't know, I'm going to pronounce it the way I see Laguz, Laguz, and this is what it looks like. And it is flow, and it has a reference to water, and also that which conducts, okay? And then the reverse of it, of course, is this. Now, it matters which way you pluck it out of the bag when you look at it, which way it was. I think it was the reverse when I looked at it, but I'm not 100% sure because I'd forgotten that particular piece of it. So that's the rune I picked, the rune of flow. And that's the thing of today's show. What does it mean to be in the flow? What is your idea of flow? And here's what the book on runes says about flow. Unseen powers are active here, powers that nourish, shape, and conduct. The attributes of this rune are water, fluidity, the ebb and flow of emotions, careers, and relationships. Laguz encourages you to immerse yourself in the experience of living without having to evaluate or understand. It speaks to the satisfaction of emotional needs, to the awakening of the intuitive or lunar side of your nature. For while the sun strives for differentiation, the moon draws us toward union and merging. Does it make sense to you with what I said at the very beginning of the show here, that this is absolutely what I was contemplating in my life? What is going on in my intuitive senses, in my intuitive world? Am I awakening that in the ways that I'm trying with the meditation and so forth, and just thinking about it? Am I doing that? Am I looking at my life from the standpoint of experiencing living without having to evaluate or understand. Because truthfully, evaluation and understanding, when you try to evaluate your life and understand your life, where are you living? Living firmly in ego. And that's, as Wayne Dyer always said, ego, EGO, earth guide only. So it kind of eliminates dealing with the spiritual self, with that higher self, or as they talk about it in here, as I said when I read the introduction there, oh, come on, where are you there? It said the knowing self, which is that higher self. Further, it says, this rune often signals a time for cleansing, for revaluing, reorganizing, realigning. A rune of deep knowing. It may call you to study spiritual matters in readiness for self-transformation. Success now lies in contacting your intuitive wisdom and attuning to your own rhythms. A rune of the self, relating rightly to the self, higher self. Laguz signifies that what alchemists called conjunctio, or sacred marriage. In fairy tales, it is the end where the hero and the heroine live happily ever after. I love that. That's where and I guess that's kind of where you marry the self with the higher self, where you get to understand the intuitive wisdom and attuning to those rhythms that it mentions of your higher self from the space of the ego self, the earth self. So I find it a fascinating concept, and and I'm going to tell you right now, as a practitioner of the science of mind, which so often we refer to as New Thought, ancient wisdom. This is ancient wisdom, and there is so much in the wisdom of the ancients. In the at the time of the use of runes, they were etched in leather. They were stones from the shore. They were pieces of wood. Sometimes they actually the etchings actually were colored in blood. It was a time when, this is the animist point of view that Dr. Bruce Lipton talks about in his amazing book Spontaneous Evolution. A time during the animist point of view when there is no separation between spirit and matter, no separation between spirit and nature, between spirit and the earth life. There is no separation. Everything was one. Everything was part of the one. It was all one living entity, individuated into the things that we perceive and see. So there is great wisdom here. There is, and you know what? We're going to spend a little time with it, I'm sure, over the next many weeks, because I will read the book. I mean, it's it describes each of the 25 runes, upwards and reversed, but that's only that's less than half the book. Actually, the rest of it is the descriptions is talk about the runes and what it is. And I will definitely use this as a source of our conversation. So if you have a thought, if you have a question, if you have any knowledge of the runes, please, I can see that there's folks out there watching the show. I'd be thrilled if you would make a comment, and see what you have to say, see what your thoughts are. I'm not sure. Okay, well, anyway, there's somebody commenting here, and I'm not sure if they're watching my show or something else. Anyway, so now that's the flow, water. The reverse is that, and in reverse it says a counsel against overreach and excessive striving. I mentioned that in the very beginning as well, right? I've been thinking about how hard I strive for the success in the things that I pursue in this life. And is it really about the striving, or is it about the expression of intention, the setting of goals, if you will, and then allow spirit to fill in the blanks, as Jackson Browne said, let the divine fill in the missing colors of our paint by number dreams, which is one of my favorite lines in all of music. So reversed again, it's a counsel against overreach and excessive striving. Drawing flow reversed, which is this, okay, it's flow like this, and drawing it reversed is a warning against trying to exceed your own strength or operate beyond the power you have funded to date in your life. Laguz reversed often indicates a failure to draw upon the wisdom of instinct, which I said in the beginning, right? As a result, the intuitive side of your nature may be languishing, leaving you out of balance. What is called for now is to go within, to honor the receptive side of your warrior nature. And that's what I said I've been trying to do, right? And this was before my beloved Lisa handed me the runes and the book to I guess basically inform me through me that I am doing the right thing. It is time to pursue that inner strength. I've only been doing this for God only knows how many years. Here I am, 72 years old, and I keep joking that every so many years I reinvent myself. Well, looks like maybe I'm at the cusp of a reinvention, on the precipice of another reinvention. Let me have a swig. So, the thought was, this is flow. Flow is about that idea that I am allowing the constant and consistent flow of information from the infinite ocean of possibilities, from the overarching creative intelligence of which I am an individuation, to allow that to flow through me and into my earth existence. That's a proposition about which I have not really focused much attention. I get it, and I've thought about it, and I've talked about it, and it's part of all the teachings that I've done over the last 30 years, but it's not necessarily what I've been practicing. It's not necessarily what I've been doing. So it's a time now, and I would invite you to think about this. It is a time now for each and every one of us to stop, meditate, listen for that intuitive voice, that still small voice that informs your life with divine intelligence. Listen for that. And then be very discerning so that you sort. I mean, it's really, really easy to listen for that voice and have your ego be the voice and go, that's it. Well, probably your ego is just feeding something you were subliminally wanting to do anyway. So that might not be it. So you have to use a little discernment there when you're sorting through what comes in. But whatever pathway you pursue to be able to allow that flow, to allow those messages to come through you, I am inviting you to pursue it. As I've said many, many times, and twice or more in this conversation here, my method is meditation. Has always been meditation. I use affirmations, I use reading, I use writing, I use different sources, but the truth of the matter is meditation is my main source. And I have gotten great guidance from my meditations over the years. And so that's, I'll throw that out to you. If you're a meditator, great. If you're a meditator, take it to the next level. Take it to the level of whatever your focal point is. I use a mantra that was given to me over 40 years ago when I learned transcendental meditation. I use that mantra. And I have found that when I limited the music and I could sit in the quiet of this rural setting, that I absolutely had more, I don't want to say focus on the mantra, but I came back to the mantra when distracted, which is what you're always supposed to do anyway. But it also allowed me to drift into different places other than thought. Big air quotes around thought. I mean, your brain is an instrument of thinking. It's going to think no matter what. But the idea with meditation, of course, is to quiet that thinking and to move back into whatever meditative process you're using. So if you have a mantra, great. Whatever you use to get to that place, focus on that. Be clear that today I'm going to sit down and I'm going to meditate, and my meditation is going to be meditation. My meditation is not going to be the monkey mind wandering around my neighborhood, my mental neighborhood of what I got to do today, shopping, exercise, whatever it is I have to do today. Let's not go there. let's put the attention solely on that idea of guidance on demand, that inner voice that'll come to us. If we put our attention there, it will come. So yeah, so this is, again, this is the Book of Runes. Can you see it on the camera there? I hope. The Book of Runes. It's by a fellow named Ralph Blum, Blum, and I don't. You know what? I really haven't looked at the book closely enough. Book was published in copyrighted 1983, so it's been around for 40 years. Great wisdom, as there isn't so much of the ancient wisdom. So that's it. That's all I got for you today. That's it for me. I want I would put in a note, if you're someone who does prayer work, if you're someone who affirms the good in your prayer work for yourself, for your family, for all concerned, this or something better always. If you're someone who does that, I'm just going to present to you that you include, it's hard for me to say this, include the country, include the government of the country, include the next highest vision of the government of the country, because sometimes I get the feeling we're just circling the drain. I listened to Marianne Williamson and her pitches for wanting to be president. Listen to Marianne. If you don't listen to Marianne, Google Marianne. She's really kind of taken over TikTok, which is really kind of fascinating for a baby boomer to take over TikTok. I mean, Marianne's 70 years old, and she's got TikTok wrapped around her finger, but the younger generation is paying attention to her because Marianne is making nothing but sense, and she's really cutting through the BS that is in control of our government right now. You want to take it a step further and go to oh my God, it's so funny. Sometimes the mind just goes blank. Go to George Carlin. Check out George Carlin's take on our government and the owners of our country, and correlate that to what Marianne is saying, and then juxtapose that to what's going on in our government right here and right now. And I think you'll see that there's something for us all to be paying attention to and to be praying about for the highest and best, and trying your damnedest to do it sans judgment. Because it's really easy to judge, I don't care which side of the aisle you're on, it's easy to judge the other side. As far as I'm concerned, there's only one side of the aisle. The other side has gone completely off the rails, but that's a whole nother workshop, folks. Anyway, that's it for me today. I want you to always remember that we are, the New Thought Media Network is a nonprofit organization, and we appreciate every donation we get. Every nickel that comes in is appreciated dramatically. Go to ntmedia.org. That's newthoughtmedia.org. Click donate. We are grateful for every penny you contribute. You know that if you watch this show, you know that my sponsor is HempWorks, producers of the most extensive line of CBD and hemp-infused products anywhere in the world. Number one direct-to-consumer distributor of CBD and hemp-infused products anywhere in the world. The cleanest, purest, and because of the extraction process and the processing process, the most potent CBD you'll find anywhere in the world. Two different concoctions: the full spectrum, which has that legal limit of 0.3% or less of THC; broad spectrum, which has zero THC whatsoever. It comes in three different concentrations: 500 milligrams, 750 milligram, and 1500 milligram, and 7 different flavors. I think, in fact, they just added an 8th flavor temporarily. More flavors than you'll find anywhere else. We have everything: dog treats, hair products, skin products, relief cream for your aching joints. We have just, you name it, we have it in the CBD and hemp-infused world. That is our sponsor. If you want to find me, you can send me an email right there at the scroll at the bottom, teamrocketnow@gmail.com. You can find my beloved Lisa and I at our branded Facebook page, Vibrant Aging, which of course goes hand in hand with this show, Vibrant Living. And if you want to know more about HempWorks and the rest of the company that's associated with, you can find that on my page, mydailychoice.com/Ken Ludwig. You can find me on Instagram, evolving_hippie. You can also, once again, sponsor HempWorks is hempworks.com/Ken Ludwig. And finally, the one thing that we always want you to remember is we are a nonprofit. We live and breathe by virtue of your donations, and they're very important to us. Zach, nice to see you on the show here, buddy. I'm so grateful that you stopped by. Hope we'll see you again. And as always, folks, I am immensely grateful for the great gift of your time and your attention. I wish you all the love and all the blessings that the universe has to offer. I hope you will join me every Thursday right here on the New Thought Media Network at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Until then, my friends, namaste.